Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know, my name is Nick, and I'm Andy's older brother, and clearly the best man. I hope everyone is having a great time so far. I'm glad to see so many people here from our side of the family. I know when most of us received the wedding invitation with the last name Vaccaro, many of us probably had the same thought. Frank's getting married again? What the hell will he learn?
So awesome.
Thankfully, this time it's his youngest son, Andy. How about that ceremony today, everyone? Wasn't it beautiful? And let's be honest, that clearly is mainly thanks to Katie. Didn't she look gorgeous?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my best to give Andy the most uncomfortable 5 minutes of his life. For the record, the most uncomfortable 5 minutes of Katie's life are going to come later this evening, courtesy of Andy. First, I'd like to say what an honor it is to be selected as the best man. Shortly after Andy proposed to Katie, he knew it was time to choose the best man. So the first thing he did was reach out to the best looking person he knew. He offered him the job. He said no. Then he turned to the smartest and most charismatic person he knew. He also said no. Then he turned to the funniest person he knew. He too said no. Finally, Andy called me and said, "Nick, will you be my best man?" I turned to him and I said, "Absolutely, Andy. There's no chance I can turn you down a fourth time." As I'm sure Katie will attest to, Andy was, and still is, a stubborn individual. When he makes up his mind to do something, he's going to do it one way or another. I guess this goes back to our upbringing, when dedication was something that was instilled to us at an early age. I remember Andrew being so dedicated to 10th grade that he went 3 times. Andy is not what anyone consider a ladies' man by any stretch of the imagination, but when he got into his early 20s, he used to tell me all the time that no woman could resist his charm. Just so we're all clear, by charm, he meant chloroform and duct tape. It was, however, clear that when he found the one, he would jump in feet first. There was little doubt that he would be married before me. That must have been something he got from our father. Growing up, all of Frank's friends thought that he would have been the first one married. Unfortunately, he wasn't. He was, however, the 3rd, 5th, and 6th one married. Now, some of you may not know that Andy decided he was going to move to Vegas to pursue his life's ambition. I remember when he told me he wanted to move to Vegas. There was clearly no stopping him. So we got together, the family helped him get everything aligned and move out there. About 3 days after moving out there, Andy called me. He wasn't his normal self. He was clearly distraught. I talked to him for a few minutes and found out why. His dream job it's something he didn't get. He found out that Chippendales already had a towel bowl. However, Andy, learning from our father, didn't give up. So, Andy decided to take his love of handling meat in another direction and enrolled in the Culinary Institute of Vegas. Now Andy, he managed to complete a 2-year culinary degree in just 3.5 short years. Shortly after returning home, I remember Andy telling me about this girl he worked with that he was just head over heels about. He just talked about her for days. Finally, I got to meet her. She was very young and beautiful and innocent looking. And just to be clear, when I say young, I mean so young that I watched the news for the next 4 days to see if there was an Amber Alert out. I would, however, like to thank Katie for everything she has done for Andy over the last few years. Without her, many of us don't know where he would be. However, if I had to guess, I would say Andy would be a 30-year-old cook with bad knees and no gag reflex. Now, these two have been through a lot together, and I think it's important that I go ahead and give them some advice that is going to help them with a long-lasting marriage. Now, the word marriage is very important because it's not actually a word. It's a full sentence. And Andy, by that, I mean a life sentence. Katie, as I mentioned to you previously, Andy is a very focused and stubborn individual. At some point in your marriage, you're just going to have to face the fact that you're going to have to swallow your pride. He's right and he clearly is wrong. Andy, let me go ahead and give you a couple helpful tips as well. A woman has to have the last word in any argument. Anything a man says after that is just the beginning of a new argument. A married man should forget all of his mistakes because there's zero sense in two people remembering the same damn thing. And finally, it's very important, Andy, that you know the difference between erotic and kinky. Yeah. Erotic is using a feather. Kinky is using the whole damn chicken. But seriously, I do wish the two of you the best of luck. And I am so glad that Katie, you are now part of our family. Let's raise a glass to everyone at home.
Yeah! Here, here.